We're just 100 kilometers away from the Iranian border. It is so damn cold. Highest peak been to with a bicycle. Yesterday we found a puppy. Crossing borders and no internet? Yep, been there. That's why I'm excited to introduce Holafly as the sponsor for this video. With their eSIM service, you wave these no service moments a cheerio and goodbye, no matter where you go. Setting up the eSIM is easy peasy, and they have different plans for whatever you're up to in 197 destinations. If you're planning your next adventure abroad with Holafly, then get your 5% discount by using the code GIANTCHEERIO. Link and more details in the video description. And now, lean back and enjoy watching the video. Is the pursuit of adventure worth risking one's safety and stability? When faced with uncertainty, how do we decide whether to push forward or return? In a world filled with conflicting advice and warnings, how do we determine what path to follow? We are ready. Departing from Yerevan, the capital of Armenia, we set out on our journey towards the Iranian border, unaware that our decision to cycle into Iran will be tested multiple times. Is it worth it? Can we continue? Are we putting ourselves in danger? What's the point? These questions become central to our journey. Our route takes us through southern Armenia. We are heading into a crisis region. As discussed in my previous video, the situation in southern Armenia is fraught with uncertainty. There have been attacks, protests, and resistance. We have been advised not to continue, and at the same time, people were encouraging us to head forward. Amidst the uncertainty, we choose to continue into the unknown. But before we set off towards Iran, there's still a few things to sort out before we really get going. Okay, hijab done. Well, it's not a hijab, but I bought a curtain, and I'm pretty sure this should be fine. And I also downloaded some VPNs to stay connected over there. Now we still have to figure out how to get cash. So we're in a mall. I'm trying to get US dollars, but it's more complicated than expected. And I don't know why, but I wanted to withdraw some cash and then go to a exchange thing, but I can't withdraw anything. I don't know why. And it's really weird because we wanted to leave tomorrow and now we just can't do anything. Why on earth do I need US dollar for Iran? None of our plastic cards work there due to restrictions. No withdrawals, no card payments. Plus, you can only get Iranian rials, that's their currency, in Iran. And we've also heard that the best way to exchange money in Iran is with US dollars. So we're withdrawing Armenian dram and then exchanging it into dollars, hoping it all falls into place. After a bit of delay, we finally hit the road.
Close your eyes, hear the voice within, calling. This heavy load got under your skin, hauling. You got the white knuckles holding on it tight, keeping your feelings bottled up inside, heading for collision and denial. To really live, you gotta die. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive.
We're back in our element, cycling, riding into the wild, setting up camp, tearing it down. But it's getting cold, it's getting wet, it's getting miserable. It's going to be tough. Long ago we had planned to arrive in Iran earlier to escape the autumn and winter, but that didn't quite work out. When you're cycling and you know you won't get dry all day, everything's wet, the sleeping bag is damp, everything stinks. A mix of sweat, rainwater and dirt. Kind of disgusting, but what can I say? We chose all this ourselves here. Yes, we chose all this, but what we didn't choose are the calls and WhatsApp messages from our families. We are told to check the news. It feels like a déjà vu, as we had kind of like the same situation when the protests in Armenia took place due to the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. And what we are reading now irritates us again. Very shocking news. Attack on Israel, chaos in the world. Iran portrayed as a potential participator of the conflict. Uncertainty. Should we keep going? What awaits us at the border? Our loved ones want us to return. We don't know if what we're doing is a major mistake. We decide to keep on going for a couple of days and not to decide things out of hysteria. Is the pursuit of adventure worth risking one's safety and stability? When faced with uncertainty, how do we decide whether to push forward or return? In a world filled with conflicting advice and warnings, how do we determine what path to follow? As always, after the rain, the sun appears once more. A wonderful soul who once was a close friend of mine used to say, "What's life without its ups and downs, its sorrows and joys, its rainy days and sunny skies?" So here we are, setting off with the sun as our companion. Little did we know that this day would shape our journey in ways we never imagined. In the midst of some trash bags dumped next to a highway in the middle of nowhere, we stumbled upon something peculiar. A tiny something. A tiny white dot. We don't know what to do with this little creature. Usually, whenever there are stray puppies, there's a mother around or other dogs, but this one is all alone.
Probe sitzen.
Probe sitzen?
Im Fahrrad.
Oh God!
We wanted to take this little snowball with us to the next village, where it might have a chance to survive. The next village is coming closer. We keep moving forward. Timo doesn't slow down. I chuckle, wondering if today's the day when everything changes.
Na komm! Ja komm! Ja komm! Good morning. Yesterday was a big day and we found a puppy and he was so tiny, so we stopped and we were searching for his mom or for his owner, but there was nobody. Like, there was a box, like a cardboard box, and inside this box there was a lot of dog poo, like baby dog poo, and we think he just set himself free by using his teeth. Now the baby dog is with us. Do you want to say hello? We named him Oscar, and as we are on our way to the border of Iran, we really don't know what to do with the dog. Like, we didn't know, but now we have a plan. So we will hitchhike all the way back to Yerevan. That's 140 kilometers. Then we'll go and get him vaccinated and chipped and get a passport. And then I guess he's ready to travel to Iran. Are you ready, Oscar? You ready? Yes, guess he's ready. So we're now 3. Welcome to the family, Oscar.
So we set out to hitchhike back to the capital of Armenia because apparently there are only vets over there. I wonder if Oscar is our sign.
And we will go with the bikes, with all our luggage and the dog. And then we'll just see what's gonna happen.
Is this little ball our signal to not continue towards the south of Armenia and towards Iran? Is this our sign that we should turn back? Some might say yes. I don't know, but the fact is we're turning back. Hitchhiking isn't working. We spent the entire day at 2 different spots trying to catch a ride. The cars are full, jam-packed. They're full of people and furniture. The cars are full because many Armenians had to leave their homes due to the conflict in Nagorno-Karabakh and are now heading inland. The cars are so full that no one stops to pick us up. All day we sit at the roadside like idiots. We smile, we wave, we hold up our sign. But the cars, vans and trucks are full of individuals displaced by the conflict in Nagorno-Karabakh, full of sorrowful faces. So we go back to where we started in the morning. We go back to reconsider our options.
So we are ready to cycle back to Yerevan. As yesterday nobody picked us up, we will just cycle back 2 or 3 days, and I just put the Yerevan hitchhiking sign on the back of the bicycle, and maybe someone is just gonna pick us up. So fingers crossed, and hey ho, let's go. So we're on our way back to Yerevan, cycling for 1 day. Today's day 2. A lot of elevation gain, of course. Well, let's see, 2 more days and then we're in Yerevan, and I still have hope that someone's gonna pick us up, but fingers crossed, and let's go.
And again, nobody will pick us up on our way to Yerevan. Nobody. I was still hoping to get a lift during the journey back, but it just didn't happen. Anyway, somehow we made it to Yerevan with Oscar, where we checked into a hostel and began the search for a vet to vaccinate and chip him, which will take weeks. Weeks of waiting, because Oscar is way too young to get the vaccines. We spent our days trying to keep up with the whirlwind of news, the Hamas-Israel clashes, the Armenia and Azerbaijan tensions, and the ongoing protests in the streets of Yerevan. As I buried myself in the history and current affairs, the gravity of the situation sank in deeper. It was a grim time, and to be honest, I couldn't shake off this heavy feeling of despair. In my mother tongue, we have a word for this: Weltschmerz. Weltschmerz means feeling a deep sadness or melancholy because of the pain and sorrows of the world. With the media portraying Iran as a significant player in the Gaza Strip conflict, I'm questioning whether it's wise for us to attempt another journey towards the border. There's even talk of a possible world war. The situation is grim, but is this a reason not to travel further? Does it make any difference if we turn back? After weeks of waiting and considering what to do, we decide to once more cycle towards the border of Iran. Timo's rim broke one day before we left. For me, definitely a bad omen. But as we found a replacement within one day, we started cycling.
Good morning. Actually, it's noon. It's our first night outside again after spending weeks in Yerevan. A new adventure with the dog. Right now we're cycling the same route we already cycled for the third time. We went towards the border, then we found Oscar, then we cycled back, and now we're cycling towards the border again. I created a sign for hitchhiking or hitchbiking because we are hoping to get a lift just due to the fact that we already cycled this route, and also it's getting colder and colder, and 2.5 weeks ago we were already freezing our ass off, and now it's 2.5 weeks later and it's getting colder and colder, and we really want to go south. We're all ready to go, all packed, so hey ho. Let's go. That's where we go, that's our direction.
Luck was on our side, and in total we got picked up 3 times.
Hi! Megri! Huh? It's okay or not?
Three rides which saved us a lot of time in the cold mountains of Armenia. 3 different people made everything a bit easier for us.
Russian speak.
Just a little bit, not really. Русский язык в школе.
Mega nett.
We were really thankful, but still freezing our asses off each and every night. We also took another shortcut and went on a stunning cable car ride, the Wings of Tatev. This cable car is even in the Guinness Book of Records as being the longest reversible cableway in the world, with a length of 5,752 meters. We were really trying to speed up our journey towards the border. Winter is coming, and we really didn't want to be stuck in any mountain range during winter time. Pedaling ahead is hard, but that's what we're here for. We want to pedal. We want to see it all with our own eyes, experience the countries we go through with all our senses. We want to go further. This means pushing forward, underneath the sun, during cold days, rainy days, no matter what. We are getting closer to the border, and this is exciting. Joy arises, happiness fills our hearts. And then there was this very last mountain pass to manage, the highest I've ever been with my bike.
Good morning in the morning. We're just 100 kilometers away from the Iranian border. It doesn't sound that much, but it's still like 2,000 or a little bit more than 2,000 meters of elevation gain to reach the border. We hope that we get very quick to the border of Iran and then continue cycling south. We reached, not the top, but like we're halfway through. Look at this view, it's simply amazing, seriously. The elevation gain was like, I don't know, out of my mind. So steep, but yeah, now we're here. We will call it a day and stay here. down there. This is where we started this morning. 1.5 hours and then we will reach the peak. We'll reach a point of 2,500 meters. Yeah, it's pretty exhausting actually. It is exhausting, but yeah, we're just looking forward to reach the top and then race downhill and get to Migri.
And there we are, arrived on top, knowing that from that point on it was all downhill towards the border. I hesitate to bring it up, but for the sake of completeness I must mention 2 more unfortunate incidents that peppered our journey. 3 days ago, Oscar got stung by something, and for a short moment we honestly thought he was dead. And then, the day before heading towards the mountain pass, Timo's foot was scalded by boiling water and he cycled the Megri Pass being in pain. So we decided to spend some days in the final town of Armenia, 10 kilometers from the Iranian border. It was in Megri, a cozy haven where we found a little paradise, a place where Timo's foot could heal. I told Timo that if one more thing happened, we would not cross this border. I mean, I was joking, not knowing what was coming ahead. As the days slipped by, the moment arrived to pedal our final 10 kilometers towards the border. Just 10 kilometers separating us from a country where we're eager to explore.
We're now very close to the Iranian border, and by very close I mean very close. This is Armenia, this is Yerevan. 10 more kilometers, a lot of headwinds, and then we'll cross the border.
I was really excited, almost forgetting the joke I made earlier. However, we were getting closer to the border when something unexpected occurred. With only 2 kilometers remaining to reach the border, we were once more forced to stop.
My gear shifting just stopped working, and yeah, we just wanted to cross the border, and I quickly wanted to adjust my gears, and now I fucked it up and it doesn't work anymore. So yeah, now it's YouTube DIY how to adjust the gear shiftings, and yeah, let's just see.
I couldn't fix the problem because I didn't know that the cable got stuck in the shifting mechanism and ripped. I was trying to fix something I couldn't, and when I realized what was wrong, we didn't know what to do because, well, silly me didn't have a spare cable. We had 2 options. Option 1 was to hitchhike all the way back to Yerevan, 400 kilometers, and see if we could find a cable on the way. We didn't see any other bike shops on the map except for Yerevan. I was fed up and asked Timo what else could possibly happen. I was so fed up. The second option was to fix a gear and then ride the last 2 kilometers to the border with a fixed gear, and from there hitchhike 200 kilometers to the first city in Iran. A sleepless night just in front of the border. My head is spinning. I don't know which way to go. Is this our sign? Is the pursuit of adventure worth risking one's safety and stability? When faced with uncertainty, how do we decide whether to push forward or return? In a world filled with conflicting advice and warnings, how do we determine what path to follow?
Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at the colors around.
We've made a decision. Our decision to cycle into Iran has been tested multiple times. In my opinion, we have passed the test. We are ready to cross the border. The pursuit of adventure may become uncomfortable at some point. When faced with uncertainty, I tend to push forward rather than stand still. In a world filled with conflicting advice and warnings, I follow the path that I believe is the right one.